Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Thursday, which means it's time for a Magic Stuff. And today I'm going to try something new that I've never done before on the channel before. I'm going to bring to you the 7 best and 7 worst things that happened in Magic over the course of 2021. Now, to be clear, this is not a list of tricks. This is not the 7 best tricks or the 7 worst tricks. You can go check that out on previous videos that I've done over the last couple of weeks. I have a very in-depth videos on the best tricks and the worst tricks of 2021. This is just the best stuff that's happened in Magic over the last year and the worst stuff that's happened in Magic over the course of the last year. My goal here is to try and highlight some of the things that I've really enjoyed about Magic in 2021 that have fired me up as a fan of Magic, as a student of Magic, as a creator, as a performer. These are things that have got me excited, and also the 7 things that have kind of got me a little bit down, a little bit depressed, that I hope go away in 2022. So I'm going to break this down. I'm going to go through the 7 best things first of all, and the 7 worst things. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this video. It's a new one, never done anything like this before. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I can maybe do it again next year. But here we go. Let's start off by counting down the 7 best things that happened in Magic in 2021. Okay, in 7th place, we have Vulpine, Adam Wilbur, basically. Vulpine Creations, Vulpine Productions, Adam Wilbur, who basically, if you don't know who Adam is, go check out his interview on Magic TV. I did a long interview with him. He was the MD at one point of Illusionist, and for various different reasons, ended up leaving Illusionist and now set up his own production company called Vulpine, where he's producing, his goal is to produce nothing but top quality Magic. And he's hitting that and then some. The quality of the stuff that he's put out is second to none. He is bringing out some incredible, some amazing products that are just really commercial. And that's the key thing with Adam Wilbur and Vulpine Creations. They are trying their hardest to bring out nothing but super commercial tricks. And you see a lot of production companies that bring out pipe dreams and bring out tricks that aren't very good. Vulpine are going above and beyond to bring out tricks that are just absolutely amazing, high impact commercial hit after commercial hit. And you know, they're not bringing out stuff all of the time. They take their time over their releases, but him and his business partner Felix are doing a great job at bringing out really top quality commercial Magic. And I've really enjoyed watching some of the stuff that Vulpine are doing. I'm really excited for the future. Some of my favorite tricks that came out in 2021 were from Vulpine. They've already in 2021 carried on with this by releasing some amazing Magic, and it's been really exciting as a reviewer to just look at something that's from Vulpine and just know that it's going to be a really good product. And I think it comes to the fact that Adam is a performer in his own right. You know, as well as being involved in the Magic industry for a very long time, he's also a performer in his own right. He performs at a very high level. You know, he's a successful performer. He's fooled Penn and Teller on Penn and Teller Fool Us. He's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, and he's passionate about Magic, and he's passionate about bringing the right type of Magic out to his audience. So I've absolutely loved watching Vulpine do so well in 2021, and I cannot wait to see what they do in 2022. In 6th place, it's The Jerks, the blog, The Jerks. If you don't know it, go to www.thejerks.com. This is a guy who for many years ago, used to be known as the Magic Circle Jerks, and he used to write a blog that was basically just angry and shouty and just basically insulted people left, right and centre. And it was very funny, and then he disappeared from Magic and didn't see him for years, and then he came back with this, The Jerks blog. and he produces books through this blog, and he produces tricks, but the blog itself is absolutely incredible. It's written so well. Andy, nobody knows who he really is. I think his name's Andy. Andy has a knack for writing really engaging content that draws people in. I've binge a lot of his material, and I'll go on there just to check out if he's put a new post on. I'll end up being there for about half an hour just reading post after post after post. He has this ability to really draw people in. But it's one of the only blogs that I've ever seen that's been written with the hobbyist in mind. So when he's talking about different performing scenarios, or he's talking about different tricks that he's actually come up with and different ways of approaching magic, he's talking about it a lot of the time from a hobbyist point of view, which is so interesting to read, because I'm not coming at it from a hobbyist point of view. When I think about magic, a lot of the time I'm coming at it from a working professional's point of view. I have no choice. I am a working professional. So seeing the viewpoint of Andy when he writes his material, it really makes me think about my magic as well. And it's one of the things that I always enjoy doing, reading Andy's blogs. And he's not afraid to shy away from controversy. He's not afraid to call a spade a spade. He's not afraid to say something's terrible when he perceives it to be terrible. He's not afraid to say something's good when something is good. He takes readers' questions. It's really interactive, and he does some really unique stuff. He brought a series of blogs out in the latter part of 2021 where he was using AI to write the actual blogs for him, and he was using artificial intelligence to see if they could actually write a magic blog, and the results were both equal parts hilarious and interesting. And that's the thing, he writes in a really hilarious way. I found myself laughing out loud at a lot of his content, but at the same time, he cuts right through the bullshit and he tells it you as it is. If you do not read the jerks, then absolutely this is something that you should be doing. He is one of the highlights of 2021 in the magic community, in my opinion. Okay, so in 5th place, and I know this is going to pee a few people off. I know that I'm going to have so many comments saying that people disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine, but I'm going to do it anyway. In 5th place, I have TikTok. That's right, I have TikTok. Now, I know that there's going to be a lot of people saying, Craig, are you mad? TikTok magicians expose magic and they're terrible for the magic community and blah, 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 blah. And in many ways, I would agree with you. And, there are certain magicians that expose magic on TikTok. However, there's also a lot of creators on TikTok that don't expose magic. Look at James Samuels, for example. He has a very strong presence on TikTok and he doesn't expose anything. Exactly the opposite. His material that he presents is original and fresh and creative and very, very different. And what TikTok is doing is it's presenting magic in a very different way. Because these videos a lot of the time are between 30 and 60 seconds, they have to cut through the crap and get straight to it. It's not like a 15-minute drawn-out presentation, which you have to have people invested in. They're doing it and they're like presenting 4 or 5 tricks in the space of 30 seconds. And it's very, very interesting to see. But the reason why I think TikTok is one of the best things that's happened to magic in 2021 is because I have spoken to, on this channel, I have had conversations with many magicians that are now in magic because of TikTok. They had a TikTok account. They saw a magician like Dan Rhodes or Joel or one of the many TikTok magicians. They saw a TikTok magician. They followed them. They got obsessed with their videos. And off the back of that, they went and bought themselves a magic trick. And now they're fully ingrained in magic. They've got their own YouTube channels, got their own TikTok channels. They go out and perform. There's somebody who I've spoken to that has become a full-time professional magician during the pandemic. And at the beginning of the pandemic, they'd never done magic before. And and they got into magic through TikTok, and now they're a magician. And I think that's absolutely incredible. I reckon there's going to be somebody that's going to end up winning FISM that got into magic because of TikTok. And I think that's vitally important. And you know what? For all the people that say that TikTok is damaging magic, and it's damaging magic, and all these TikTok magicians should go away and not be allowed to do what they're doing, the people that are on TikTok producing this content, they are probably doing more good for magic than anybody else, because they're bringing so many people into magic. And you know, the antiquated views on exposure, they are just that. They are antiquated. And these days, we need to make magic inclusive, and we need to make magic fun. And what a lot of the guys are doing on TikTok is making magic fun. They're producing content in a very unique way, and they're always changing what they're doing. A lot of people look at it as, oh, it's just to camera. They're changing stuff around. They're following trends. They're constantly updating trends. You know, like a year ago, it was this thing where it was sort of from a behind the scenes. Now it's Rate My Magic Trick. In a few months' time, it'll be something else. And they're doing a fantastic job. And I know how hard a lot of these people work to produce the content that they're doing. And for all of the people that go, oh, TikTok magicians, you couldn't be doing, you know, you're sitting there bitching and moaning, complaining about people that are working their arse off to produce content in order to grow their brand, or whatever their reason is for doing it. But as a result of them growing their brand, and as a result of them doing these videos, more people are getting into magic. And yes, sometimes people go too far and they expose tricks that they shouldn't do. And yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's not good. But they do more good than they do harm. And let's be honest, you know, I remember being at a show with James Samuels, and it was his show, and I was comparing it. And he said, what are you going to do to open up the show? And I said, I'm going to do Vanishing Bottle. And he said, are you serious? And I said, yeah. And he said, but it's been exposed on TikTok loads. You know, everyone's going to know how it's done. And I said, no, they're not. No, they're not. And I went out and I opened the whole show on Vanishing Bottle, and it absolutely killed. A lot of the time, if you watch a TikTok video and there's a trick that's exposed, they'll forget about it in a day's time. You'll forget about it in 2 days' time. You'll forget about it in a week's time. It's totally not a big issue. So, you know, I really have a lot of respect for the people that are producing TikTok videos, but more importantly, I think it's doing a really good job of getting new people into magic. And honestly, if we want magic to continue to thrive and grow, one of the ways that that's going to happen is by getting new people into magic. And the people that are producing TikTok videos about magic, they're doing a great job. In fourth place, we have the London Magic Convention. You know, we've gone through 18 months of sheer hell, where we've been locked in our houses. We've not been able to leave. We've had to perform virtually over the internet. We've had to learn a whole new medium of performing. And some magicians have fallen by the wayside, and they've left magic, and they're never going to come back again. And that's really sad. And, you know, the pandemic has caused a lot of harm and a lot of hurt. And it's not been great. And then, you know, earlier this year, you have the London Magic Convention, which was, for me, absolutely incredible, because it was a chance for me to take Ryland to his first proper magic convention, and he had an absolute blast. And I'm so glad that his first magic convention was the London Magic Convention, because it was such a great convention. And it was almost like a beacon of hope. It was a beacon of hope in kind of like a period of time that's been very dark, and there's been a lot of despair. You know, you have Andy Nyman and Preston Nyman, who are kind of saying, yes, but look at what we can do. Look at this isn't going to be here forever. And it was just a great convention. It was a very friendly convention. It reminded me of Ronsday, Macmillan's, which I know is what they were going for. You had some incredible lecturers. You had some amazing talent. You had some great surprises. You had a wonderful competition with some fantastic competitors. And it was just a really fun, enjoyable day. This, you know, I've put it at I've put it at fourth place, the London Magic Convention, but it could be any convention. It could be just magic conventions in general. I'm saying the London Magic Convention because I went to the London Magic Convention. But, it could be a convention over in America. If you went to a convention in America and it's your first convention since the pandemic, then this applies to that convention. The fact that conventions are opening up again now, the fact that we're now finally be allowed to meet and talk magic and discuss magic and chat and jam and show each other what we can do. That's what's wonderful about magic. Forget about performing, forget about gigs, forget about all of that stuff. It's bringing people together as a community that I absolutely love. And that's one thing that I'm seeing happening. And London Magic Convention and other magic conventions that are coming out at the moment, it just shows that the future is bright. In third place, I'm going to bring up Adam Wilbur again, but I'm also going to bring up my friend Lloyd Barnes. In third place, I'm going to highlight specifically their YouTube channels, Adam Wilbur and Lloyd Barnes' YouTube channels. There are some amazing channels that are out there at the moment. There are some fantastic YouTubers, Magic Orthodoxy, Steve Faulkner, Card Mechanic, Tyler Lunsford. The list goes on and on and on. Obviously, the OGs like Daniel Madison and Chris Ramsey and people like that. There's some amazing. But Michael O'Brien. How can I forget Michael O'Brien? There's some incredible YouTubers that are doing a fantastic job. And in the last few months, Adam Wilbur and Lloyd Barnes have really started taking their YouTube channel seriously, and they are producing so much amazing content, and they've both chosen to look at it in a completely different way. Adam is putting up a ton of content to do with the theory of performing, how to perform successfully, how to be a successful performer. He's talking with his partner Felix about how to be an engaging magician and how to really take what they do to the next level. And it's so amazing to watch. And if you haven't subscribed to Adam's YouTube channel, you really should do. Then on the other flip side of the coin, you have Lloyd Barnes, who's going out just like producing amazing content, not just theory, but also trick tutorials. I mean, Lloyd is such a creative genius. He really is. And he brings out so much incredible magic. And because he's a friend of mine, I know his brain is just ridiculous, but he's also so humble about what he does and what he creates. And the stuff that he's putting on his YouTube channel just blows me away. Have you seen his 3-coin vanish from earlier this week? He could have sold that as a download for 10, 15 quid easily, and he's just putting it up there for everybody for free. He's doing an amazing job with his YouTube channel. Both Adam and Lloyd are doing amazing jobs with their YouTube channel. They have a wealth of experience, and they're wanting to share that with their subscribers, and they've come out of nowhere to do this, because up until recently, they weren't really taking YouTube seriously, and now they are. And we, the viewers and the users of YouTube, we get to benefit from their experience and their wealth of knowledge. So if you haven't done so yet, go and subscribe to Adam and Lloyd's YouTube channel, because it's absolute gold. In second place, we have the 1914. And the 1914, D. Christopher, Jack Curtis, Louis Lavelle. A little bit like I talked earlier on about Vulpine, coming out of nowhere and really setting the bar high for the type of magic that they produce. Well, the 1914 has done exactly the same thing. Dee set the 1914 up with Jack at the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, talk about an insane thing to do. Okay, we've got a global pandemic and people can't leave their house or perform. What shall I do? I know, let's set up a magic production company. And one thing that the 1914 are doing is they do not compromise on the quality of instruction. They do not compromise on the quality of what it is that they do. And I know this personally from having been on a number of shoots with the 1914. To see what they're doing. You go on shoots with most production companies and it's one person and a camera. And the 1914 have like 4 cameras. They have 3 or 4 crew. They have sound booms. They have absolutely everything. They always hire a unique venue in which to perform in. They insist on live performances. They are doing everything right, and the quality of what they bring out. I have never seen a bad 1914 release. I have never ever seen a bad 1914 release. All I see is quality product after quality product after quality product, and it's amazing. And it comes from the fact that, you know, that Jack and Lewis and Dee are so passionate about what they do. They're so passionate about making a difference in the magic community. They're one of the only production companies that I will just buy everything that they bring out sight unseen, because I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be well thought out. And on this channel, I talk sometimes about terrible tutorials that rush over everything. They go completely in the opposite direction. If it's a 1914 release, it's probably a minimum of 2 or 3 hours of tutorial, which is great because it means that you get no stone left unturned. But the 1914 are incredible. They are one of the shining lights, in my opinion, in 2021. And I know that they're going from strength to strength in 2022. I guarantee, mark my words, in the next 2 or 3 years, they are going to be the production company to beat, and everybody else will be looking at them and following in their footsteps. And then the first, in number 1 position, in the first position, the best thing to happen in magic, in my opinion, in 2021 is the plethora of membership sites that have been released to magicians. There's a whole ton of them. I'm looking at some of them here. I've wrote some of them down, so not all of them. There's so many, but the One Ahead Club by Rory Adams is brilliant. Magic Monthly by Christian Grace is brilliant. Ozzy fans, Luke Ozzy is brilliant. Ollie Mealing's membership is absolutely incredible. You know, you've got My Next Trick by Stephen Bridges has just come out, and that's doing a great job as well. There's all these different membership sites that have like really kind of taken to the forefront over the course of the last year, and they're all so good. They really are, and the material that they share is brilliant. And because not everybody is a member of these membership sites, it's all real underground material, and I'm loving seeing this new model of teaching and performing kind of flourishing within the magic community. A few years ago, this sort of thing didn't exist, and now it's actually a really viable option. And it's great that people like Rory and Christian and Luke and Ollie are really leading the front with these membership sites. It's a really great thing to see. And if you aren't subscribed to some of them, do so. I mean, the fact that it's, you know, you can cancel at any time is great, because it shows that they believe in the content that they've got on their membership sites. Because if people went on there and they didn't like it, they would just cancel. And, you know, I guarantee you, if you go on any of those sites that I just mentioned, you will get 3 or 4 routines that you will be able to do instantly, absolutely instantly, that I promise you will blow people away. They will blow people out the water. The content is second to none, and you can't get it anywhere else. You can't go on Penguin and buy it. You can't go anywhere else. You can only get it directly from their membership sites. So if you aren't a member already, go and jump on and become a member of some of their sites, because I guarantee you, you'll really enjoy the content that they're sharing. Okay, so since I started the rants, I've been a lot more positive on this channel, right? Since I stopped the rant, I've been a lot more positive on this channel. And I don't want to dwell on the negative, but I did promise you the 7 best and the 7 worst things that happened in 2021. I've just gone through the 7 best things. I'm going to go through the 7 worst things now. I'm not going to spend anywhere near as much time on it, because I would rather dwell on the positive than the negative. But I did promise you that I would talk about the 7 things that have annoyed me the most in magic in 2021. So just like we did with the best list, let's break it down. In seventh place, we have bad customer service. And I'm talking specifically about creators that self-publish. They've got a trick that they've bought out, a physical product. They've bought it out themselves, not through a production company. And they've chosen to do all of the distribution side of things themselves. And their customer service is terrible. And people never end up getting their product and end up having to like fight PayPal in order to get refunds. This is not acceptable, and I see it happening more and more. I understand why it's happened. It's happened because a lot of people that create magic, they're great at creating magic, and they've built up a reputation for themselves by producing really great magic through various different magic companies, whether it be Murphy's or Penguin or Vanishing Ink or whatever it may be. They've brought out some amazing magic over the course of their career, and then they kind of think to themselves, well, I should self-publish. Why should I give the production companies any money when I can make all the money themselves? So they bring out a trick themselves and they market it, and because they've got a good reputation, people buy it off them, and then they end up ultimately not sending it out and letting their customers down. And that's going to put your reputation in the toilet. And here's the thing. There's some people that are great at creating magic. They're not great at customer service. They're terrible at customer service. They're not going to go to the post office every single day or whatever it may be. Well, if that's you, if you're a creator and you know you're going to struggle to be able to fulfill your obligations, then don't self-publish. Instead, go through a production company. I always go through production companies for my tricks, and I've got a team, I've got an office team that could send out the stuff for me. But it's just because I'm more than happy for a production company to take that off my hands, so I don't have to do it because I'm so busy doing other stuff. It's not something I even want to concentrate on or anything I need to worry about. And I think that creators that are releasing their own tricks, if you are releasing magic and you're not getting that trick to the end user and they've paid you money, that is not fair, and you need to have a quiet word with yourself. You either need to sort yourselves out and put systems and processes in place in order to make sure that the people that are ordering from you get the product that you're trying to sell, or you need to go through a production company that will do it for you instead. But if you continue to try and make empty promises and deliver nothing to everybody that's like shopping with you, you're going to end up with your reputation in the toilet, and you don't want that. So I know that there's certain creators out there that aren't able to fulfill, and I've had that experience myself. I've had an experience myself of shopping at a creator's site that was self-publishing something. I paid the money, and then they just contacted me after 4 weeks and said, yeah, sorry, we can't ship internationally. I'm like, yeah, you can. But no, sorry, we can't ship internationally. We can't send your product out. Well, why has it took you 4 weeks to tell me about this? Oh, sorry, yeah, we'll send you the money back. Did I ever get the money back? Did I? Hell, whatever. Unfortunately, that's put a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm never going to use that guy ever again. And it's going to make me think twice about ever having a product off him, even if he brings a product out now through an actual production company, just because I've seen what he's capable of. If you're going to self-publish, then understand that your reputation is on the line and you need to make sure you deliver on what you're promising. And unfortunately, in 2021, I saw that not happening over and over again. In sixth place, that was 7. In sixth place, I have magic trailers. I am sick to death of 2 types of trailers. Number 1, dishonest magic trailers. Let's use NPAD as an example. Let's use Peter Eggink as an example. Magic trailers where they absolutely flat out lie on the trailer to try and convince people that the product is something it's not, which is just a cash grab. I absolutely hate that. I would much rather they be completely honest. You look at NPAD and it says instant reset. Well, no, it's not instant reset. You're absolutely lying. You look at Peter Eggink on his Quantum Bend trailer where he plays the same footage and then he reverses the footage. Why would you do that? It's to make the trick look better than it actually is. That's the first thing that I hate about magic trailers. The second thing I hate about magic trailers is production companies like Sky Member who think they are Michael Bay and they are producing these theatrical trailers, and it's like, once in a lifetime there comes along a trick that will change the face of magic forever. and then you have a slow motion walk towards the camera, and there's this guy holding a deck of cards, fireworks, explosions going out all around him. Now is the time for your magic to change and go to the next level. Thunder, lightning, loads of women screaming, just people running away scared. And it's kind of like, now is that, and you get to the end of the trailer and you're like, well, I have no idea. I have literally no fucking clue what the trick is. Yeah, I just want to see a performance. Just show me a performance. That's all I want to see. I want to see a performance of the trick. I don't care about Hollywood special effects. I don't care of overly dramatic theatrical music. Show me what the trick is. You want my money, then show me what the trick is, and I will give you the money if I like it. It's as simple as that. Don't lie on the trailer. Tell me the truth, and don't overproduce it. Just show me what the trick is. Okay, in 5th place, I'm going to talk about people like Justin Flom that are exposing magic during the course of a prank. Now, this is going to be quite ironic because I've talked about, hey, I don't mind TikTok. In fact, I think TikTok has done a good thing for magic, and I still stand by that. And people are going to be watching this going, well, why is Craig getting upset about a different aspect of social media magic? The reason is, if somebody's going through TikTok and they see somebody like Dan Rhodes doing magic directly to camera, they know they're watching a magic trick. And ultimately, they might like that, watch a few more magic videos, subscribe to Dan, watch more of his magic videos, and eventually get into magic, right? What somebody like Justin Flom is doing is a completely different thing. What Justin is doing is fake pranks that are just completely set up. And frankly, the acting is so terrible. I can't believe that people actually buy into this and believe that this is real. Obviously they do, because Justin has basically made a fortune out of this. You know, he's basically just decided not to perform magic anymore so he can create these videos. So it must be working for him. But the thing is, when he exposes a trick, like he has over and over again, exposing, various different illusions, he's not presenting it as a magic trick. He's just exposing, for example, a crystal casket or a deceptive base. He's just exposing it during the course of the prank. So people that are watching those videos, they've got no interest in magic. It's not like watching the TikTok video where you can see that there's a magic trick being done and you're watching it for that magic trick. You're watching this video because you're interested in the prank. God knows why you are, but you are. And during the course of watching this prank, you're seeing how a magic trick works. And, I just think, and the problem I have is if Justin was doing it in a really clever way, then maybe that wouldn't be so much of a problem. But the fact is, he's doing it in such an obvious way. He's just exposing the trick for no reason whatsoever. And, he could do it in a really intelligent, clever way, but he's not. And it just makes me sick. I hate these pre-done, fake 3-minute videos on Facebook. They drive me up the wall. I absolutely hate them. And I'm sure there's people that are going to be watching this that love them. But for me, every time I see Justin, every time it comes up, here's a video by Justin Flom, I'm like, oh my God. Can you pass me that spoon, please? Because what I'd like to do is take this spoon and I'd like to it's rusty, I don't care. I'm going to take this rusty spoon and I'm literally going to scoop my eyeballs out so I don't have to watch what Justin is showing me. I know people watch it and there's a certain percentage of the population that buy into his stuff, else he wouldn't be doing it. But people like him, not just him, but I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I hate it. I think it's one of the worst things that's happened within magic in 2021. Okay, in 4th place, the fourth worst thing to happen in magic, in my opinion, in 2021 is keyboard warriors. People that have absolutely no ability, no skill, and no justification to comment, and yet they feel the need to comment. And you see it a lot on the Magic Cafe, people that hide behind a fake account making comments that are just completely inaccurate and untrue. But you also see it all of the time everywhere on social media. And you know, for a while when I was doing the rants, this sort of thing used to get to me, and it used to make me really angry. Now I don't get angry with it. You know, I can't tell you the amount of hate I get on this YouTube channel. You know, I spend hours every single day producing free content that I think magicians are going to get a kick out of, and designed to try and help magicians. You know, I can't tell you how long it took me to put that bloody quiver video together over Christmas. And then you have people commenting going, oh, Craig has no talent. Craig has no skill. And it's Craig is a bad parent. Oh, I wished Ryland wasn't on this channel. He's a brat. And oh, Sarah's just a fat cow. And oh, Ryland, somebody actually posted the other day, I wish Ryland was dead. Somebody actually put on there, I wish Ryland was dead. And as I say, this is the sort of thing that would trigger me. It's the sort of thing in the past that used to trigger me. I don't get triggered anymore, but I do hate people that are keyboard warriors, because ultimately all they're doing is they're trying to make themselves look important. They're trying to get a rise out of the person they're targeting. Any hate comments that I get on my YouTube channel, it's people that are trying to get a rise out of me. On the Magic Cafe, it's people that are trying to be more important than they actually are. People trying to make themselves out as knowledgeable, experienced magicians, when in actual fact, they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. And unfortunately, these people that make these comments, they're just pathetic. They're just sad. And, you know, I don't let them get to me anymore. But I will say that if anybody has something that they feel really passionate about that they want to say to me, and you feel the need to create a fake account, because every single time this happens, it's a fake account, and you feel the need of creating a fake account to put a little post online, don't, because a lot of the time my team will just delete it and I won't even see it. You know, I've got a team of people, remember, it's not just me, so they'll delete it before I even get a chance to see it, and they won't even tell me about it. It's very rare that I see these comments these days anyway. But if you feel strongly enough about me, or you feel strongly enough about my family, and more importantly, you feel strongly enough about my son, that you want to make comments like that, here's an idea. Why don't you meet me at Blackpool? Why don't you come up to me? And if you want to say, oh, I wish Ryland was dead, why don't you have the guts? Don't type it, save it. If that's how you really feel, if you really feel that like you wish my son was dead, my 9-year-old son, if you really do wish that, don't type it on YouTube, save it. Save it inside. Save that feeling inside. Then come up to me and tell me at Blackpool that you wish my son was dead. Say it to my face. Because if you do come up to me and you have the guts to say it to my face at Blackpool, and you're going to talk about my son thinking that my son should die, I swear to God, I will break every single individual bone in your body and leave you a quivering little bag of jelly on the floor. This is not me doing rants anymore. This is me telling you, as a parent, come find me at Blackpool. You think that's how you think that's, you think that's what it's okay to say that about somebody's son? Come find me at Blackpool. Say it to my face. In number 3, we have fake testimonials. This drives me up the wall. I talked about this on the podcast with Lloyd recently. What do I mean by fake testimonials? I'm talking about people giving testimonials about products that they haven't seen or they don't believe, but because they're mates with that person, to try and get more people to buy that product. I hate that. I remember when Visible came out, I wanted lots of people to have, I wanted lots of comments on there and lots of quotes on there. And what I did is I contacted loads of magicians who I didn't know before, and some that I did, but a lot that I didn't know. And I was like, look, I'm going to send you the download link to Visible. What I would like to do is to have you watch it and just give me a quote. If you don't like it, that's fine. Just give me a quote saying you don't like it. If you do like it, that's fine. Just give me a quote. I'd just like a quote. You can have the project. I'd just like a quote. Would that be okay? And I just went out of my way and I spent days getting real quotes. And that was important to me. And I did have a couple of people who I approached saying, I'll just give you a quote anyway. No, I want you to watch the project. I remember doing some crediting a little while ago and trying to do some research into a particular trick. And I was told by somebody that this trick was similar to somebody else's, and I wanted to check that. And this particular trick had a quote of 2 or 3 people, and one person, I reached out to them and I said, hey, you gave a quote to this trick. Can you tell me what it's about? And they were like, oh yeah, never even seen the trick. Never even seen it. Never even watched it. They asked for a quote, so I gave them one. And that's what's terrible about magic these days. How can we trust anything that anybody says if we, I expect quotes to be lies and fabrication, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. And it makes it harder for people like me that want to have real quotes put on projects, because I know that people are going to look at those quotes and go, oh, it's made up, it's not real, because that's the industry standard. It needs to stop. If you are a name magician in the community and you're asked to give a quote, then look at the project. Actually give a quote based on what you genuinely think about that project. In number 2, the second worst thing to happen in magic in 2021, in my opinion, is cash grabs. And what do I mean by cash grabs? I'm talking about products that are released specifically for one reason and one reason only, which is to get money from magicians and put it in their pocket. They don't care about the project. They don't care about the quality of the project. They don't care whether it's any good or not. They just want money. I call it a cash grab. It's the art of bringing out a project that's absolutely terrible, but they don't care. It's framed in such a way that magicians will spend money on it. NPAD is a perfect example of a cash grab. There are lots of different projects that have come out over the course of the last year or two that is a cash grab. Sky Member have a lot of projects that are cash grabs. Peter Eggink has a lot of projects that are cash grabs. You see it happen over and over again. They bring out something that is woefully inadequate and absolutely terrible, and they know it, which is why a lot of the time these projects also have fake trailers, but they do it for one reason and one reason only: to get magicians excited. So they'll spend money, and ultimately this project is never going to be used. The trick that you're buying is just going to end up in a bottom drawer, or better still, it's going to end up in a bin, and nobody is going to perform it. It's the reason why myself and Ryan have started smashing tricks up on the review show, because we're trying to send a message. We're trying to send a message to tell creators and producers that you cannot continue to get away with this, and that at some point you have to take a stand. Me and Ryan are taking a stand right now. We're going to say, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're not going to accept shoddy, crap products that fall apart within 15 minutes and are just woefully inadequate and never should have been released in the first place. Producers of magic, stop releasing shoddy products, stop producing ill-thought-out routines and ill-thought-out ideas, and instead release something that members of the magic community can be proud of. And then number 1. Here it is, number 1. The absolute worst thing to happen in magic in 2021, in my opinion, is magic politics. It's just bullshit. It really is. Magic is meant to be fun. Politics is not meant to be fun. So the two should never mesh. The problems that we in the UK have been experiencing in the magic circle over the course of the last year is ridiculous. No one can go to the magic circle and enjoy themselves because there's always somebody talking about the politics within the magic circle, and this isn't right and this isn't right, and the council are being forced to defend themselves, and then there's arguments going back and forth about whether people are doing a good job or not a good job. I know it happens in the magic castle. I know it happens all over the world. It happens in every single magic club in every single town and city around the world, and it's just terrible. Let's get rid of the magic politics and let's spend more time talking about magic and enjoying it. I've talked in the past about magic clubs. I'm sick to death of going to magic clubs and having, some old fart stand up at the top going, right, okay, order of the business. Before we start today, we need to talk about Hilda, who has now got a broken hip. And, who cares? I'm sorry, Hilda. I'm sorry you've got a broken hip. And I will happily, put some flowers in a vase and bring them to the hospital for you until you get better. But in the Magic Club, I just want to talk magic. I don't want to have all the political back and forth. It's time for an annual general meeting. Now we need an emergency general meeting. Now we need an extra general meeting. Now we need to take every single general meeting and every single piece of red tape bureaucracy. We need to take it and ball it up into a big red ball of red tape. Then we need to take that sumbitch, turn it sideways and shove it straight up the ass of every single person who thinks that politics and magic mesh, because they really don't mesh, and I'm sick to death of it. So there you go, guys. That is a list of the 7 best things and the 7 worst things to happen in magic in 2021. Now it's where it goes over to you. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there something that should be on the best list? If there is, let me know in the comments down below. Is there something that should have been on the worst list that didn't make it? Let me know in the comments down below. I love the interaction that we have on this channel. It's my favorite thing. I read every single comment. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. And don't forget, as normal, you want to see more videos like this, you know what you gotta do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another 3 videos. One at a shorts at 2, a shorts at 2, a live at 6, and a very special video at 9 o'clock. So look out for that. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.